Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm your host, Daniel Prue, sitting in the center chair this week, and joined as always by my friends Darren and Philip. Guys, how was your Star Trek week?
It's good. I'm a little sad because I saw that the next episode in my Voyager rewatch is, I don't know if it's called Warlord, but something like that. But that's the one where Cass gets taken over, and that's pretty much the countdown to her leaving, because that's the episode where when she's possessed, she breaks up with Neelix, and that's sort of, and then I mean that's pretty much.
You can't be allowed to stay if you break up with Neelix.
But I'm trying to remember. Obviously, there's the. It's not going to be this episode, but then there's the episode because she has to be there for the temporal torpedo. The year of hell that we never saw with her.
Right.
Yeah. The one where she travels. Is it her that travels?
Fury?
Fury? Oh, no, that's when she comes back.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's another one where she travels in time, or future, because that's the one where she, Kim marries her daughter, and it's creepy.
It is weird. It's really weird.
When you think about it. But anywho, I only know it's probably only a couple episodes left till say bye to Cass, and then I'll be sad. But anyway.
But then you get to say hello to Seven.
Yeah. And again, I was going to say yeah, but obviously Seven's good. You know, we've grown to like her. But yeah, I like Cass more. But yes.
What about you, Darren? Anything? Well, we know you just watched some Prodigy, but anything other than that?
Yeah, just catching up on Prodigy. It's been fun watching with my daughter. She's, again, Murph is still her favorite character. And so I haven't watched I was going to say Con Man, but no.
First Contact.
They made a whole
That's
movie.
Right. The dash is what's throwing me. But, yeah, I'm sure she'll love the transporter part and the sliding down the hole. But
Exploding.
yeah, but it's just been restocking my ISO chips and working on some more display options. So, but yeah, just a normal Trek week.
Yeah, nice. We just finished the episode of Deep Space Nine, and I can't remember what it's called, even though I just watched it. But it's where it's the first time we go to Trill, and where Dax. It's the one with the mask, and there's the evil, the murdering host that she didn't know she had, and if that gets out to Trill society, that's where they learn half of all Trill could probably host a symbiote, but they make it much more selective because there's only so many actual worms. It was a decent episode. It wasn't bad, but
Yeah, I that was, I think, one of those episodes that I had on a VHS tape, back when I had select Star Trek episodes on VHS that I would record and watch a million times. So that's obviously early DS9. Yeah, it does make, I like, it's, again, for DS9, it's probably not the biggest episode in the world because it's still kind of early days before they got too complex. But I like it. But it does make you think, I don't know, Trill, you can come up with something. You don't have to. I get it. Every society has this kind of we've done this forever and we're not going to change or else the world would end. But I'm like, would it really? Maybe it's just time to have your symbiont commission. Well, they do. That's literally what it's called, right? But, to figure things out.
Yeah, and what we get in that episode, we see a lot of in that Discovery episode. The pools and the commission and the people in the white robes and stuff in that episode where they go to Trill. So nothing changes in 1,000 years again.
Isn't that what? What's his face? God, it's Gray. Is that his name? Anyway, isn't that what he's training to be as a keeper or whatever you call those?
Oh, is he? Was he? I didn't. I wasn't aware of that.
I thought that's what he was doing.
I guess that makes sense. Although I think they're different pools of people, generally, but maybe things are different in the future. I guess I don't know. Or in the past, that actually would be
different pools of people that are in charge of the pools of people.
In different pools, yeah. So. All right, well that's good. That's pretty typical week. But let's we're gonna catch up on some Prodigy because we're a bit behind. We did talk about the stuff in Kobayashi last week, just because of how kind of relevant it was. But we'll still talk about it a little bit, and we'll talk about the new episode, First Contact. First things first, though, and this bothered me immediately, because last week we left off on, here's Captain Chakotay, and then Janeway realizes there's a new ship, and I felt, did I miss an episode? Because this episode starts, and God, I almost said Boimler.
Doll.
They both have purple hair, doll.
Yeah.
He starts talking about how they learned about what happened to the crew, the first crew of the Protostar, even though we don't know what happened to the first crew.
I mean, all
of
we
the
know is
Protostar.
that there was a crew and something attacked them. So we
Yes.
don't really know anything. We just know something happened, which isn't really what he says.
But we zoomed in this episode.
Yes, we zoom in enhanced.
There is 0%. There's no clarification. There's no. They just gloss over it and they don't talk about it. They just Janeway's not upset about. Yeah, the whole Chakotay thing was a red herring. We learned nothing else about it. I was upset. I felt like I missed an episode because I thought that's what this episode was going to be, but it wasn't. So what the heck?
Daniel, I agree with you, and if this was Discovery or even Picard, I'd probably be with you, but it's Prodigy, and I don't care because they're just gold every episode. So I was just like, oh, they didn't solve that. You know what? What are we doing now? Okay, I'm good.
But you can't tease it and then not have it. You just can't. Why do
Janeway
it? Why do
stroked
the
her
tease?
Chin. What more do you need?
I'm just saying, and I'm sure we'll see more of it. But
We got 20 episodes in a season,
I just don't know why tease it. That's all. You just
Yeah, I should tease it this episode. I agree.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me, but I agree.
Because that's what I was going into this episode thinking. This was the Chakotay episode or whatever.
I don't want a stupid Ferengi episode. Where's Chakotay?
Yeah, and this turned out to be a First Contact / Ferengi episode, which I think maybe this is the first one of those. At least since the battle or the
goodness.
last outpost, because that was actually the first time that we were supposedly really interacted with Ferengi face to face. ... Question mark.
I mean, I did, and I don't know if we're supposed to be going 100 miles per hour in this, but I did and they didn't comment it, but, and I suppose if you're not, if you're not a diehard, you're not going to notice. But of course, this was a female Ferengi.
Yeah.
So this is a post reform Ferengi.
That's true.
I was gonna-
Nagus Nog, his bright, glorious future. Or not Nog,
Rom.
sorry, Rom. Nagus Rom.
I was going to bring it up because this is probably
She's
one of the
clothed
first.
and everything.
She's clothed. How did she? Again, we don't know the the transport status between the Alpha and Delta Quadrant. We're not sure how she got there, still, or how anybody gets anywhere. But they seem to be pretty common. But it does imply that
wormhole still acting up, I guess.
yeah, that's right. It does imply that this is post Deep Space Nine at the very least. Oh, obviously it is, but that the Ferengi system has changed significantly. And how did you guys feel about the Ferengi representation? Because it's interesting.
I thought it was fun. I liked the Ferengi, was it Marauder class ship? It was fun seeing that again.
Oh, we've got to talk about that.
I was going to
Although
say, Daniel,
it's big though.
it sounds like you're in the mood, but I want to say for the record, this is the first time ever I've been impressed by that ship.
Okay, that's fine. We have to talk about it because we saw the scale of the ship.
It's huge. It's a huge.
No. It's a huge ship in TNG. In this episode, it's a shuttlecraft. She gets in the ship. She physically walks into the back of the ship.
Well, it's as big as the Protostar.
No, okay, well,
No, it's got to be bigger than the Protostar because it's hard because usually in Star Trek ships we go off of windows, like a row of windows is a deck, and it still has all the window decks like a Galaxy class scale ship. It's hard because we never see it right next to the Protostar.
But to be sure, there's only one person
And when it's on
in the ship, so it can't be too big.
Yeah, and when it's on the planet, it's like it's in the desert, so there's nothing to put it against.
Nope. This is what I'm upset about because you can clearly see. I'm gonna show you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's smaller. It's not probably a Marauder. It's whatever.
Well,
It's
no,
like-
but that's the thing. It is though. It's the exact same model. It's like if.
Oh,
It's the bird of prey issue.
with the
Well,
There's
the
a
bird of
big
prey.
bird of prey,
Exactly.
and there's little birds of prey.
But
But
the
bird of
bird
prey
it
look
looked
the
bigger
same.
in the catalog when she bought it. Typical.
Maybe it's like
Ferengi.
half the size, but it's still the exact same design.
It's like using. It is like the bird of prey. You're exactly right, Darren, in the fact that it's the bird of prey has a problem as well. But
Yeah.
there's no reason this has to be a problem. Like they can create the ship. They can model the ship however they want.
It's cheaper.
Just use a slightly different design. And
Or
just come up with it.
just make the windows bigger. Just make the windows. Honestly, from the outside, if they made the windows bigger and look like there's 6 decks instead of 50.
Yeah, I still feel that would be cheap. That would be like them
It
using
is
the
cheap. It's a
Enterprise.
Ferengi.
We've already no. But here's the thing: we've seen Ferengi shuttles. Just use one of those. Like there's no reason not to. It bothered me. It did. That was probably the only other thing that bothered me in the episode. Really, was the fact that the ship, which was shown to be like nose to
Big.
nose with the D, almost kind of right proportional, right up next to it, is like this tiny little shuttlecraft, and it's like just use a different model, guys.
I mean, Daniel,
it bothered me.
as you know, all ships are shuttles.
Well, that's right. This proves that, I guess. Because she's. Oh, yeah, I forgot I already was going to do that. I was just going to show you guys.
Sure. Pitch time.
Oh, interesting. It blocks it out. Hold on a second.
It's so big, it blocks it out, is what you're saying.
I like how in Memory Alpha they list Dreadnought in the cast for this episode. I'm like, well, I mean, he doesn't say anything. It's literally a picture of him.
Who is his voice?
Jimmy Simpson.
Who are we talking about?
The bad robot.
The red-eye robo guy. Bad robot.
Oh, gotcha. Now you guys can see.
Psych 2, that's what I'm thinking of, actually. Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's the underside.
Yeah. And those lights would probably be like a football field across in the original version of that ship. Like we're talking, or more, or bigger. That is insane. You can see the whole curve of the thing. It would not be like that if it was Enterprise D-shaped and you were standing on it.
It did make me wonder, do you all know what that box, like, is that, what's the source? Like, it just made me think of very Star Trek Online, that a loot box you can get in Star Trek.
That's Pickpox, the artificial life form.
It felt very
shaped
Star
drone.
Warsy.
Yeah.
The little robot felt pretty Star Warsy to me.
Yeah, it did remind me of Star Trek Online. Yeah,
Well, that's her partner with an actual eye for treasure.
I see.
Oh, was it? Is that what
yeah.
she was implying? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know
that she bought. Yeah.
And like as to the whole the mystery of like why is a Ferengi presumably in the Delta Quadrant, because presumably that's where Dahl's from, assumingly. But I'll tell you what, I let it all wash over, and I don't know whether just the animated medium just lets me let them get away with everything, because same thing with Lower Decks, but with Lower Decks I don't really. I guess I don't consider Lower Decks canon, if I'm going to be honest, but that's just me. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm sure it makes sense somehow. I'm going with it. Let's go. Of course, it was very Guardians of the Galaxy too. I don't know. Well, I guess not the same ending, but I was like, yeah, she totally sold him into slavery 10 minutes in. I'm like, that's.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that was not a surprise.
And it's a short episode. It's short. It's always short episodes, so I'm not going to complain. But they didn't really kind of build the relationship between. I mean, from Dahl, he raised me or she raised me, but did you like her? I mean, he seemed happy living in the below engine room. I've kept the bedroom the way you left it, and it's just the hammock below the engine. But I mean, again, I even though there was predictable parts, I still enjoyed it because it's all very, of course, very beautiful and very, as Prodigy does, and I think it's one of the few things that really embraces we're animated, we can do anything. So they have their crew is diverse aliens, and we're going to meet diverse aliens, and there you go.
Even the crystal people of Planet X or whatever it's called. Which Janeway is very unhappy about this situation. She tells them in no uncertain terms, this is a terrible idea. You should not be doing this. And they go anyways, and they muck it all up, unsurprisingly.
Yeah. I mean, they put it all back, but they still caused harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that again, I assume our job is not to teach children about the Prime Directive, though why not? Because I mean, like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, in a more thoughtful show. It sounds like I'm backhanding them, and I don't mean it that way. But in a more thoughtful show, we would get like what would be the consequences of the interaction, because like, oh well, we saved the day, and Janeway kind of says like, yeah, but you don't know what happened. Well, however she says it.
Yeah.
But like, we get a couple more seconds in a longer show. But I mean, it's fine. We know what the harm was.
I mean, you would think that this society, this group of creatures is now probably pretty freaked out about these guys coming down and trying to take all their crystals. If
they're pre-warp and they don't know about alien life, this is where they start to build like a large military to defend against future incursions.
That's about as disastrous as this would be almost like a mirror universe first contact scenario. Like it doesn't go well for sure, but and that's fine. It's no big deal. Like you, Philip, I kind of, because of the nature of Prodigy, I don't expect.
Well, we get them acting more and more as a crew. We get Gwen doing her communication stuff. We get like they actually are acting like a team. They're just grossly untrained.
Yeah, they don't.
They're children.
They
are
kids.
children. Yeah,
and their motivation too. Like they're kind of fumbling, because there's, even with Adal as their leader, quote unquote, and Janeway's supervision, they still kind of don't have like a goal or like
Trek babies. Come true.
It's you laugh, but it's true.
It's kind of what it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, I'm still surprised. I mean, it's fine. I'm still surprised because, to me, Dahl in his world is the captain. But I think no one else necessarily sees him as the captain. They just don't want to be in charge. So it's kind of like, sure, yeah, you're the captain because I don't want to be the captain. I think that's sort of like the vibe of the crew. Whereas I think, sorry, what's her name? The communications officer?
Gwen.
I mean, dude, Gwen should be we all know Gwen should be the captain. There's like no doubt Gwen should be the captain.
I mean, I think they're pretty much the same age is what's been established. But yeah, she is definitely more mature.
So,
it's one of the elements of the show that doesn't really work for me. It's like they're trying to shove a group of people in like that Star Trek format, and it's like if this, like, if we were in that scenario, we would just be like a group of people, and we would just kind of probably go by consensus or agreement or whatever. We don't need, like, your group of friends doesn't need a captain. It's just a group of, but they're kids, like you said. I don't know. It's one of those things. The element of the show that just like. He's like always trying to be in charge, and I don't really know why anyone has to be in charge. Yeah, he's not good at it, and I don't know why you would listen to him most of the time. Like, maybe if he had a good idea every now and again, that's fine. But it's just a weird part, and I guess I kind of get it, but it just it's one of the weaker elements of the show for me.
Because I mean, to me, like, again, I don't think any other kids care. I mean, they're just content. They don't know what they're doing, and they're happy to be there, and whatever. Someone else takes care of them. Like any kid, that's fine. Until it gets in their way. But like, there hasn't necessarily been, like, because I think Gwen and Dahl would be the, if Dahl, I mean, that's going to be the conflict one time. Dahl's going to make a stupid choice, and Gwen's going to be like, no, we should go right. And Dahl's, no, left.
Yeah, and that starts to become the pattern.
That, it's, because I really don't, I mean, it's kids. We don't need a romantic. But like, it's sort of like a will they, won't they. It's sort of like, that's the conflict between the head guy and the head girl. In a non-romantic way. So, but they're not going that way. But to me, that seems sort of like what would be really happening.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's like I'm kind of ready for them to move past that, past the Dal making dumb, like, or Dal making duplicitous moves. Lying, yeah. Well, because especially when they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and the Medusan is all like, yeah, you're totally lying to us. It's like, so like, why even try? Like, there's no reason to try if you have someone on your crew. Like, they kind of sidestepped it, but it was kind of like, yeah, like, Everybody, like, I don't know why any of them would trust him as captain right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Other
there's
than they
no
don't want
reason
to.
to.
Again, because Jacob Hawk doesn't want to be captain.
That's true.
Murph is
Gwen is
Murph.
still, like, they had to give her, like, a crushing ego blow so that she wouldn't want to be captain.
Yeah,
Because
she's-
she wanted to be captain off the bat.
She's still having. I mean, I'm not making fun. She's still having trauma issues of being, so she's not necessarily in a
Yeah.
emotional place. But like when she's ready,
And she also understands, like, Dal, like, I mean, she says it. She's like, I'm my father's daughter. Like, you were raised by this person. That doesn't mean they were a good person.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody has good fathers.
Yeah,
in
what
this.
is the show teaching
No-
kids?
no.
Like, your parents suck. Your
Yeah,
family
parents are
sucks.
terrible.
It's the same kind of, in a way, it's the same kind of issue that I have with Michael from Discovery with Dahl. It's like, I get you don't want to make a perfect person as your lead so that they always have room to grow, but you can't, like, if something catastrophic happens or they lie all the time, right? Or they keep making stupid, dumb mistakes. No, everyone's going to lose confidence in them.
Yeah.
So you have to build in. It's like more subtle, but you have to build in a level of competency, a level of like ability. Otherwise, they can't be a leader.
Well, and it's been a very us versus him, or it's like a lot of the dynamic of the show is Dal wants to do something and no one else does, or everybody else wants to do something and Dal doesn't, and it's like that can only go so far. Like you said about well, and like you said about an imperfect person, I think Gwen is not a perfect person, but I think she's grossly more competent in the command role. Mm-hmm. So, and again, this isn't Starfleet, but like you said with Michael or with other things we've seen, that's why we watch Star Trek, because Starfleet they're not perfect, but they're professional.
Yeah.
And when you don't have a professional person in the captain's seat, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And obviously, we get it. These are kids.
Right.
But then don't put them in that role. Don't, if you want to build Dahl towards that role, that's totally fine. But you can't just give it to him and by default, I guess, and then have him keep screwing up and up and up, and then think everything's just going to go fine. It would not go fine. These people would get sick of this. Even these kids would get sick of getting into these shenanigans every week. And it's like...
I'm also starting to not quite understand the Janeway role. Like, is she there? Because she's more than a teacher, but like she has her own will, and is looking into things. But it's like
She's the Clippy of the starship.
no, I know that.
Badgie.
But oh gosh, no, that we know
You
how
want to
that, we
teach
know
them
how
a
that turned
lesson?
out. But yeah, I don't know.
Now,
Like, I'm almost waiting for the moment where she's like, "No, I'm not going to do that because that's going to endanger your crew." And it's like, well, then are you the hologram that just takes orders, or are you the captain of the ship? Like, I don't know.
Well, we already had the well, I don't know if y'all aren't watching Discovery. We already had the episode of Discovery of the computer becoming sentient with whatever.
It's never good.
Zora?
Never good.
Whatever.
Maury already taught us that.
Yeah.
It's never good.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Obviously, I think the point is there should be a lesson every episode for the kids. I mean, it's a kid's show. And so I think that's kind of how it's usually structured with Dahl, that he learns a lesson before you're teaching a lesson.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you lie. This is what happens when, da-da-da-da. I mean, I don't think it's very basic. I mean, I think they do it in a great way. I love Prodigy. Prodigy's my favorite. But I mean, I can see what they're doing as a core. Like, this is the lesson we want to teach.
But it's also a slow burn show. Like, we've said this a couple times. Like, it has a lot of episodes, and so it's definitely taking its time.
Yeah.
What a fantastic transition, Darren, because I wanted to talk about this. Early on, we were like, okay, like maybe the father-daughter thing is the big push here, the big thrust. We're getting towards the endish, and there's not really a...
When you say Indish, we're like halfway through the second quarter.
Well, it depends on how you split it up, right? How many episodes total are in this season? Do we know that?
20-something?
Let's find out.
20.
20.
So part 1 was the first 4.
I mean, it's in quarters. It's
Part
5
2
episodes per quarter.
Okay.
is the
Okay,
next
you're right.
5,
Okay,
and then
you're right.
part 3 is the back 10.
Let me revise what I just said.
So there'll be
Either
some
way.
sort of mid-season cliffhanger.
We have the title up until episode 10.
Uh-huh.
Right. So First Contact
Yep.
is episode 7.
Right.
Yes.
But at this point, other than the father-daughter, whatever he is, the
Diviner.
the diviner. Thank you. I can never remember his name. Like that conflict, there doesn't. It's. We don't know where it's going. We have no idea, in fact, where it's going. There's one other element of the show that I want to talk about as well, which is, of course, the Chakotay thing. Now that we've learned Chakotay was the original captain of the Protostar.
What was he
where
using the Janeway hologram for? Good question.
Yeah, by the way, that's what I was going to bring up
But
too.
Janeway was on the ship.
What do you mean?
Like-
What do you mean?
Like in the playback, like Janeway
hologram.
is also on the
That was her hologram.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100%.
She was wearing a different uniform, and she looked like
Oh.
Voyager Janeway. So yes.
I thought it was implying that
No.
actual Janeway was on the
No.
ship with
No,
him.
no. I think
You
it's
can tell she
implying.
looks like a hologram.
Yeah, I think it's implying that.
Well, they were both in a hologram like recordings. That's why it was
okay.
confusing.
Yeah, he was wearing, and this is 100% veering away. Again, made me think of Star Trek Online because I cannot place his uniform at all.
Nope,
That's
that's new.
very
That's a
Star Trek
totally
Online.
new uniform.
I was like, come on, guys, don't make this. I mean, don't make this so harder. I mean, like,
So Chakotay-
What, you want to put him in a monster maroon? Like what?
Well, between Lower Decks
Yeah.
and between
Picard.
and the Legacy Trek future uniforms, because they've established what future uniforms could look like, not necessarily what we know. And then Picard, like, stop making stuff up, guys.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Philip. I wish there was some standardization, like from this year until this 20 years later, it was this uniform,
I can
and
get
that's it.
Every 10 years you can change. I'm down with
Sure.
that. But like, come on.
I absolutely agree that they don't. Discovery comes up with a new uniform every season. I agree with you. I think that it should be kind of
Picard's
a little bit more
given us 2
standardized.
uniforms.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously their timeline and then a little backwards in time,
Right.
which is sort of not quite abutting maybe where we are with Chakotay. I don't know, but
Are Lower Decks and Prodigy contemporary? Are they how close in time?
It's
are
hard
Lower
to
Decks
say
and
as
Prodigy?
well, though, because there's got to be some sort of time travel involved.
we don't know.
The amount of time that the Diviner's been looking for the Protostar does not match with any of the other characters mining it.
So we don't know when Prodigy takes place. Is that what you're telling me?
I think
I'm saying
that's
we
fair to
don't
say, I
know
think.
when Chakotay was on the Protostar.
But I mean, we know 17. Why is 17 years in my head? Was it? Did they say they've been looking for it?
I
17
think,
years?
yeah, 17 is a number that sounds familiar in my head.
So,
But if they're looking for it for 17 years, from what the date we know that Prodigy takes place, the
Well, we don't
Voyager
know
was
it
not
takes place.
back. Voyager hadn't even left 17 years prior to that.
but we don't. Do we know when Prodigy takes place?
2383
God,
is
we're
what
doing
is
this again.
listed here.
Yeah, and that's I'm pretty sure that's the like it was 5. I think it was like
That's
to
why I said we're
remember.
gonna do this thing.
I'm looking it up. Okay, so Lower Decks is 2381. Prodigy is 2383. So they are contemporary, essentially.
Okay.
They're close enough where Chakotay should have been wearing a Lower Decks uniform.
If not,
And-
the DS9 First Contact uniform, like Will's wearing on the Titan. Boimler wears it when he.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, or one of those two. Yeah, sure. Why invent a whole new one out of, I guess, Delta Quadrant variant? Whatever.
It's
but
the experimental ship. It's anytime you do an X shift, you get to do your own uniform. I guess it's like Tom Paris being a racer pilot or whatever.
okay, so that's what. So you said 2381, 2378 was when Voyager got back. So
yeah,
that's always the
That's
tricky part.
right, yeah.
Is it's like 3 years before Prodigy is when Voyager got back, but the
Lower
Protos
3 years before Lower Decks, not Prodigy. Prodigy's 2383.
okay,
So
but
that's 6 years.
but still.
A 6 year difference.
But still, that doesn't line up with the ship being lost for 17 years and because Janeway is the tricky part.
Wait a minute. What ship was lost for 18 years? The Protostar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did they say that? I don't remember that at all.
Here it is. Okay.
They
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Well,
Phil.
I'm just reading Memory Alpha, okay? And this is... You're going to have to make this sense in your head. Here we go. Okay. So it says, by 2366, the Protostar was abandoned and located deep inside Tars Lamora, which I suppose is the, where we are in the pilot.
Well, here's the other thing. Gwyn is like 17, and we see her being born in a flashback, and assuming she ages in Earth years, that the Diviner is still looking for the Protostar when she's born.
Hang on a second.
That's where we get 17 from.
So, but
Hang on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on. You said 2366?
Yeah, and which is the past.
Which was 10 years before the Voyager got back?
Exactly. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that's the problem.
What? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because so we have established that the Diviner's been looking for the Protostar since Gwyn was born, which was 17 years earlier than the events of Prodigy, and Voyager got back,
So we have no
Wait,
idea.
that would mean the Protostar itself was launched before Voyager was launched.
No. Well,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Or a temporal incident happened
There's got to be a temporal incident.
that put it in the past.
That's fine.
Because
I am fine with
because
that.
if we know Captain Chakotay was in charge, he's captain. You can't be like, oh, maybe it was before he joined the Maquis. No, it's Captain Chakotay. We see 4 pips.
It makes less sense that it's pre-Voyager
yeah,
Chakotay. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So yeah, there's
I agree.
a temporal
No, I-
incident. So we have no idea, really. I mean, maybe we do, of when the Protostar was launched.
Well, it has to have been launched after Voyager gets back, because otherwise there's no way that Chakotay is captain.
Yes, I'm saying yeah.
But there's no way that there's Janeway, but we don't know when.
Yeah, it could be in the future. Like, it couldn't be like
Right.
if we're saying the Protostar is the present, like what we're watching on this episode is the present. It could be the future when it was launched. We don't know.
It probably will be. But all I was saying is that it has to have launched after Voyager gets back, because otherwise there's no Janeway hologram and there's no Captain Chakotay.
Yeah, nobody wants Janeway before Voyager. Oh, she got to find like the small ship. Nobody, she wasn't going anywhere in their career.
So that's the thing that they're probably eventually gonna,
That's
flesh
okay.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever, it's fine. We can leave that just say whatever. We don't have all the information. But what we can say is it was launched with Captain Chakotay, so post Voyager return. With Captain Chakotay chose a hologram of Captain Janeway. Just saying, for all those shippers out there, it's the flame is burning. Back in the Delta Quadrant, I don't know, that's what it is. But again, it's like weird that Chakotay would pick a mission to go back to the Delta Quadrant, and I know that a lot of the Voyager novels have done this. Well, I would have said, look, if I got stuck somewhere for 7 years, and then I come back and work says you got to go back there. Nope, sorry, I'm not doing it.
Well,
We promise the ship will get you there and back.
But Starfleet's going to, we've got this ship that can go vroom vroom. Who has experience in the Delta Quadrant? And Janeway's like,
That's true.
I'm going to go get my Admiral.
Well, that happens in the books. In the Voyager books, that they call, I think, what do they call it? Like, they call it the Circle Fleet. Like, it comes back around, and they go on like a convoy mission back to the Delta Quadrant. To like, I don't know.
to explore because it's there. Because they didn't get to see a lot, Daniel. They weren't taking the scenic route. But
what are you talking about? According to Neelix, they stopped at every backwards planet.
It does make me wonder, and again, I'm not, without being too funny, I mean, we can be, but what is the Janeway hologram's purpose? Because as you say, she's helping the kids, but they don't know anything. With a experienced Starfleet crew, why do you need Janeway? Now, as an emergency hologram, yeah, sure. Why not? ECH, sure, makes sense. But what is her primary purpose with Captain Chakotay? I don't,
I mean, it could be the Protostar is this advanced. And it's not an NX.
It is.
which
It
is
an
also
NX.
Oh, it is an X. Okay. Well, so that also makes
76884, Darren.
so that also makes a little. I never learn any registers. What are you talking about?
You know one. I know you know one.
I know 6,
In
and they're
XO1.
all with letters after them. But, well, what if she is, like she said, she's a training program, so she has been built to, even though it's not like a trainee crew, it's still a crew on a advanced prototype ship. So imagine your ship is so complex and new that you need a training hologram to help you manage it as you're learning it. That kind of makes sense.
I mean, like, seems like 6 kids can operate it pretty fine. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, but they're not actually like fighting anybody or doing anything.
Well, to be fair, and we learned this previously, like the Enterprise D can have like 3 people operate or whatever it is, just based on the computer. And
Or one data,
or one data. And this is a much, much, much tinier ship.
That's true.
It should be pretty
The complement is
doable.
probably like 50
It's
or
the
something.
size of a Ferengi Marauder. I mean, yeah.
Stop it, Philip. Stop it. Yeah. So, okay. So let's put our heads together and speculate, because I think that's the most fun thing to do. Chakotay
Yep.
gets a mission. We don't know what the nature of the mission is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like proto drive
Yep.
Testing.
testing. It could
Yeah.
be just
To
that.
there and back.
Out to Pluto and back in 3 seconds,
Some event happens to
Right.
they get boarded. We know that they get boarded by something.
by Dreadnought.
Yeah.
By who?
The robot.
The robot.
Bad robot.
Is that who boarded them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They zoomed in.
We see him.
Zoom in. You get the zoom.
They zoom
Oh,
in, and
yeah, that's right.
that's him with red eyes. The only thing that has red eyes in Prodigy.
Now, of course, it does open up things because, again, there's an assumption, like, we don't know that he was hooked up with the diviner here. Like, we don't know that.
Right.
I mean, maybe he was. Maybe
Well,
he wasn't.
and he says things about like the will of the code or whatever. Like, you can't do this. Like, I feels like Dreadlock's been around a lot longer and is using the diviner. That's kind of the feeling I'm
Oh,
getting.
you think he's like the manipulator kind of character?
I get the
to be
feeling-
henchman, but
I get the feeling that there, because the diviner's the last of his species. I feel like when he was not the last of his species, and there was, like maybe they're dying out or something, the robot was made to kind of enforce the code of these people, and
What if he's
then-
the robot from that one episode of Voyager that B'Elanna has to fix? They're
Prototype?
fighting
Yes.
each other.
Yeah, Prototype.
yeah.
much more advanced than the
What
planet.
if he's the
much
other
more.
species?
Yeah.
Do we don't think we ever even see the other species. That's who he could be.
Well, it was themselves.
We don't-
It was themselves. It was 2 different parts.
Oh,
of
is
the
that what it
world,
was?
yeah.
Damn. All right. I'm just curious because I feel like it honestly does feel like, and kind of a spiritual successor to Voyager in a lot of ways. Obviously, we're
definitely.
in the same. So I feel like it's gonna come full circle with something from Voyager, and I don't know what it is. I'm not sure where they're leading.
Yeah.
But I kind of think it's gonna be like they mentioned the phage in this episode. I feel like it could be like
funny.
those garbage people, those garbage scowl people.
Oh,
who,
goodness.
or something like that is some obscure thing that happened in Voyager, and I think that'd be really cool.
Well-
but I don't know what it could be. I'm not sure where it's going.
we're talking about we spent a lot of time talking about timeline. I mean, the next episode is called Time Amok.
Oh.
So
how do they spell
maybe
amok?
AMOK.
Oh, so like mock time.
It's
Just
kind of
reversed.
like a mock. Yeah,
They don't have any
pretty
Vulcans. Who's mating who? Anyway.
So it's going to be the time travel episode, and maybe we'll learn that the protostar was thrown back in time.
And because I think, again, we'll find out. But right now, the possibilities are endless because, there's no reason saying the diviner's from the Delta Quadrant. Who knows where he's from? It's so
Well,
open-ended.
there's also it also bugged me a little bit too, where apparently we were on the border between the Delta and the Gamma Quadrant.
Uh-huh.
We hit the gas,
Yep.
and now we're in the Gamma Quadrant. Right. We find a Ferengi ship that also
no Starfleet.
gets but
doll.
also gets a message. Yeah, that nose doll that gets a message that the protostar
Picks up.
has a bounty on it. And it's
you're
like,
right,
so
you're right, you're right.
so it's like, so did we really go a long distance, or is the Diviner literally like a planet behind us? Because it's like they want to have it have gone really far, but they also have to keep the elements of the story within reach.
Well, how far did they say they go? I've forgotten off the top of my head. When they hit
It was 20,000 light years. What was that last episode?
It was less.
Or was
That
it
was-
2 episodes ago?
They say at the beginning of Kobayashi, I'm pretty sure.
Hold on.
Drops out of proto warp. It's called proto warp. Doesn't say in the memory alpha summary. Proto warp.
It does clearly state that they're in the Gamma Quadrant at that point, though, right? The show has a lot of big implications, but like I don't know how much. I don't feel like it's going to dig too far into any of them, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. But I just wish sometimes like a little more answers. Like,
Because I mean, it's,
I'm not
again,
sure.
it's so open ended. There's no guarantee the ship ever goes back to the Alpha Quadrant. I mean, it may or may not. But like in like when you're Daniel, I know what you're saying. Like, this is another propulsion system that we're. But like,
Sorry, I double checked. Did we say 4,000 light years?
We didn't say
which
4,000.
is
Okay.
which is not like a ton. I mean, because all we know is Voyager was 75,000.
It was a lot.
So
But
4,000.
that was 60 years. So
yeah. So 4,000's like nothing to sneeze at. I mean,
hang on. Warp 9, 1 light year.
I mean, you may
Let's
think
see.
it's a long way to.
yeah. The problem is there's no like in their map. There's no like stars. It's just like
So it would take at warp 9.5. It would take 10 hours to travel 1 light year. So 4,000 light years in whatever time that they spent. Who knows? It could have been.
Is that a straight?
year.
Sorry, math. I don't know.
it curved a little bit.
But anyway, I mean, because
so how many hours are you saying that would take, Philip?
Oh, I don't
Or
know.
sorry, Daniel. At
Sorry,
warp
no,
9?
that was for the original series, whatever weird
God.
thing they have.
Oh.
So it would take 3 hours. It would take 3 hours to travel 1 light year
Warp
at
9.
9.5.
And this was at 9.9, repeating it.
Well, it doesn't matter the speed, but
Right,
like,
right.
but at the max speed of conventional ships, it would take 3 hours to go a light year. So 3 times 4,000 is 12,000, and 12,000 hours divided by 24 is 500 days.
Okay, so use basically a year,
Yeah.
a year and a half worth of travel, almost 2 years worth of travel.
Yeah.
Which is, So by the way,
But again, that's why it's hard. It's like, so then the Diviner is not a problem anymore because there's
Right.
no way he can catch up. But I don't feel like that is the case.
maybe Subspace is really good with the wanted posters. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Subspace is different than travel.
Right.
So
To be short.
you could potentially. The bigger problem here is how did he possibly run? And this happens in Star Trek all the time, so I'm not going to hold them too hard
the
on
ship
it.
in the quadrant.
But how could it possibly run into the Ferengi of his Ferengi friend?
Right.
It just happened.
Who-
They ran
well-
in a different quadrant of the galaxy. They
I mean-
just happened to run into each other.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, if she sold him into slavery years ago, then that makes sense that she could be over
She
2
could
years
be,
of distance.
but the odds. I mean, I know.
Well, it's the same problem. They're
it's
trying
the,
to tell a small story geographically of everybody's kind of near each other, and they haven't gone that far. But they also have a ship that can go 2 years in an hour
Right.
away, and it's like you can't have both.
What it is they
Well, we
does-
also-
they
on the-
turned off the ex-girlfriend setting on the starship to the ex-parent, and you can run into those anywhere. Star Trek.
On this crew, we have an Alpha Quadrant, 2 Alpha Quadrant species. It seems like the distance kind of doesn't. We have the Medusans, and we have the Pinkum.
Tellarites.
Punctum.
I don't know.
Jenkum Pog.
Doesn't make
Jenkum
one of
Pog.
those
It's not
are
that
from.
hard.
He says his name 50 million times.
I know he does. I'm not good at
Jacob
that.
Pog.
Well, the Medusans we see in TOS,
Yeah,
so we know
we don't
they're
know where
Alpha.
they're from. No, looking it up right
We
now.
kind of know they're.
I mean,
they gotta be
I doubt
some.
they're not from the
They're
Alpha
energy-based life forms. They could be from anywhere.
They are Alpha/Beta Quadrant species. So, yeah, I think we're kind of heading towards the end. I am interested. I really, really, really want to know where the story's going, so I can kind of like pick up the little clues. I'm sure they're leaving stuff for us to like. learn, but I don't know what has happened to the protostar. Like we say, the time and the geography is really strange on this show. We don't know where and when and who and what yet, even though we're 7 episodes in. I hope that's all addressed pretty soon, and I'm excited for it because the show's really fun to watch. I'm enjoying the show
Now,
a lot.
I mean,
Go ahead.
maybe the issues we're having. I mean, how much have we spent in this episode talking about distance and time, and
We're nerds.
and year, and it's like because that's science fiction. Science fiction, you need the constraints of where we are and where we're going and how fast we can get there and what year it is and all of that. And then you play in that sandbox and everything makes sense. And that's why we're scratching our heads so much because it doesn't seem to be lining up with anything. Now, granted, the season isn't over and all the things haven't been revealed, but yeah, it's frustrating.
well, I don't think they violated anything. It's just that there's lots of questions.
Well, but I mean, we're jumping between 2 quadrants
I mean,
in a matter of
jump
hours.
between the alpha and beta all the time.
Well, yeah, but nobody talks about
It helps
the
to
beta
live
quadrant.
right on the border, Philip.
If you want to go off catalyzing gaseous anomalies
I mean, you have
in
people
your
going
Excelsior
from
ship,
Earth to Deep Space Nine in like a day, so you know.
that's true.
The thing is, it's not. It hasn't really broken anything in my.
It hasn't broken it, no.
But it's bending it.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
is
certain to selling it, as we say.
That's exactly right. And I hope they address it. I just I'm interested. I still am very interested to see where the story goes, and I'm really curious about the implications of the characters that we know and love. Like I can't wait to. I assume that we are going to have a live Chakotay on the show, and maybe breathe a second life into questionably lifeless character. So yes, make him interesting and fun. I really hope we get Captain Chakotay and he comes on and he's like just the man. It's going to be, I hope it's great. And maybe even other characters that we know, possibly, ... I don't know. I have no idea what their intentions of the show are.
Now, you guys be thankful if you remember our Star Trek pub quiz we did the other week, where I gave you characters and asked what their rank was on Memory Alpha. If I gave you Chakotay, do you want to know what the answer is right now?
Oh, did they change it?
Changed. He's
They did it
captain,
really?
rank captain,
Wow.
occupation,
Oh.
commanding officer, USS Protostar.
Interesting.
So,
What did Kirk end up being?
captain.
Okay. I don't. It seems inconsistent. Is it based on the last rank they held in
Yes.
canon?
Yes.
Because was he,
Not necessarily in time, but in canon.
No, in time. Captain Kirk
He
was a
wasn't
captain when he
captain-
died.
Oh,
in
that's
Generations? He was a
Yeah.
captain.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was demoted.
Yeah, but he was demoted like 4 times. On that. All right. Anything else to talk about real quick?
I
Anything,
mean, as far as teaching kids stuff, I think it's doing a good job. Though, I do worry that kids will be putting photon grenades in their dogs' mouths. And just want to know, Murph is a special life form and should not be representative of other life forms found in your household. Because I like how like that was a 5-second thing. I thought that could have been like a B story of like Murph's gonna explode and what's her face is like, what happens when you swallow a
Right.
photon grenade? Ask
Yeah.
me for a friend.
Which she was asking for a friend, which was what made it funny.
Never mind.
yeah, the transporter sequence in the beginning of the episode was really cute.
That was
I really
fun.
enjoyed it. I thought it was
Floor
well done.
pie.
They're also learning how transporters work. Well, it should have been here. Oh, that's space. Okay. A couple more inches than I thought.
So, but yeah, Time Amok is next week, and then a 2-parter for the A Moral Star and A Moral Star Part 2.
Ooh.
So
When we have time break, and then Discovery returns.
For
yeah, and then
3
we'll take a break
episodes.
for a while.
And then we wonder when Picard will come. And then it'll be fun.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Do it.
Actually, I think what's up next is the Captain Georgiou show.
Oh, this says hiatus for Discovery Season 4 Part 2 and Picard Season 2 is what it says on Memory Alpha.
I'll be curious, because not that I don't believe that. They just have
I mean, it's running off of the latest data they have. That's the problem. Like, it's not an official
They've said
source.
February 10th, Discovery.
Right.
And we know they got Prodigy in the can. Like, it's not like, oh, we're making the third part. No, we know they have the whole season. But I've not heard a date for Picard. I mean, they've given us Discovery, so it's not like
Picard. They're
being cagey.
They're not. They're being really cagey.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but they shut down production because of like a COVID outbreak.
Like 50 people got COVID.
Yeah, something like that. So here's the thing.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I need my
no.
I'm just saying, give us.
I don't think that's the problem. I don't think that's the problem.
Yeah.
But it does show that Picard is still being worked on. I think Strange New Worlds is already done. I think it's been wrapped for a while. Mm-hmm. So I actually do think that's what we're getting between Discovery and Picard. I think we're getting Strange New Worlds next. But I guess we'll see.
Because like I said, I mean, like, I don't mind, I guess, doing Prodigy in quarters. So, like, we finished Discovery season 4. I don't remember where we are. And then we do the third quarter of Prodigy, which takes us to the summer at that point. And then you can do whatever you want then,
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Star Trek to look forward to.
Yeah. No shortage. These are far gone days from the Star Trek drought of the
I don't remember going, which series is coming on right now? Yeah. Like the one series that exists. That's what's coming.
Yeah. So, well, that's where we're at. And you know what? The best place to listen to Star Trek commentary, news, and stuff is right here on SETI Alpha 3. So, Philip, if people wanted to talk to you about what your favorite thing to transport onto the floor was, how would they find you?
I mean, floor cake. I'm not a floor pie guy. And then there's two different kinds of people. But they can find me at Twitter at NC Public Servant.
And Darren, if people wanted to find out how to shrink really, really big ships into shuttle size, how would they get a hold of you?
Oh, they'll find a way. They can find me at drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
It's like Clifford the Big Red Dog. How much do you love the ship? That's how big it'll get.
That's true.
Do you love it?
But it's true. Even Clifford, sometimes he fits in a house, sometimes he doesn't. You never know.
And if people wanted to have... Oh my God, that's so silly. And if people wanted to talk to me about how the proto drive might break everything, they can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number 1, not the word, as in Warp Drive number 1. All right. That's it for this week. We will catch you guys next week. I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.